Now we will focus on all-on-4 treatment planning. The main difference from the standard procedure is that now we need to place tilted implants. So what is the best way to position a tilted implant within the software? In this site, we already have an implant in place, and the slice shown is tilted to 30 degrees in respect to the axial plane. We have also planned a tilted abutment to compensate the 30-degree implant angle. Let's turn off the STL so you can see the details of what we've planned. Now let's plan one together. First, change the layout to include the CPR or pano view and cross-section views. Then click Reset to set the CPR and cross-section angles back to 0 degrees. Move your cross-section roughly to the area you would like to place your implant. Click on the angle box to adjust the angle displayed and change it to 30 degrees. Now the angle of the cross-section has been oriented to show a 30-degree slice. Click your tooth chart to add your desired implant. Also add a 30-degree abutment if it's offered for your implant selection. Click Apply. As you can see, the implant has been placed according to the 30-degree slice we set and with the abutment we chose. Now from the left side of the screen, you can slide the abutment angle bar to rotate your abutment emergence to correctly align with the ideal prosthetic axis. Now you may move the implant bodily to find its ideal position and available bone. This is the way to place tilted implants in the RealGUIDE software. Another important tool we can see identified on the tooth chart is anatomy collision. This means that the sleeve is likely touching the STL of the model, identifying the soft tissue anatomy for the patient. Depending on what is registered to the case, this could be a soft tissue model or the intaglio surface of the denture prosthesis. In our case, it is a small collision, so the implant can be moved slightly with the available implant tools, and the warning disappears. Of course, we are not performing a real treatment plan here, but showing the available tools for training purposes. Another important tool related to all-on-4 planning is the positioning of anchor pins. A guide should be well-fitting and stable for surgery. Select the Pin Planning button, and then change to a layout that includes the axial image. Click to reset the axis, and rotate through your cross-section to locate the area in which you would like to place your first pin. Typically, 3 to 4 pins are placed for stability, with the first pin being placed in the anterior. The anchor pins can be repositioned in the same way as root form implants, using the implant tooling or manual movements. When placing anchor pins, it is important that the pin emerges through the STL file, whether that file is the anatomy STL or the prosthesis STL. This is to be sure that the associated sleeve, shown here in green, will be appropriately embedded in the guide design. To place your second pin, move your cross-section to the next desired area. Then click the number from the tooth chart which most closely matches your positioning, and adjust your placement accordingly. When placing anchor pins, pay attention to make sure that your sleeve is not intersecting the anatomy STL or the intaglio surface of the denture. Rotate your cross-section again to the desired area to place your third pin. The pin numbering system on the tooth chart is not crucial, but instead identifying the most common areas anchor pins are placed. You can also check the implant proximities on the 3D view. And if needed, you can fine-tune their position here as well. Once the implants are in position, save your project, and you can proceed to the surgical guide modeling.